Hello DevOps people, welcome to Full Stack Live, my live coding live stream. Welcome on a pretty bleak Irish Saturday afternoon. It's been raining and it's getting dark, and I'm pretty happy to be here in my little home office doing stuff that's fun. Speaking of fun, we had a lot of fun yesterday, and I actually got a merge request done, and I'm pretty happy that I made some progress on our hosting dashboard. And I noticed that I need a bit of refactoring and things that could improve my code quality, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I don't have any big goals for today. It's more meant to be a relaxed and easy Saturday afternoon, just doing what comes to mind, which I hope will be fun. It'll be even more fun if you join in, so feel free to pop into Twitch chat if you have any questions, if you'd like to ask me anything. Doesn't have to be about the stuff I'm doing at the moment. We can talk about IT career or other things, and so pop into chat if you have any feedback, if you'd like to share something, if you'd like to tell us about a project you're doing, and other things. So that being said, let's take a look at yesterday's notes and see what I wrote down. I had one little task that I didn't get to finish. Display the API token on the user page. That'll be an easy change, because that's an attribute that's already in the database. It just doesn't get displayed, so we'll simply need to add it to the user page view, and that's it. However, that'll be a good change, because people who already have access to our API will be able to take their token right from the website instead of having to ask our tech support. So that's one thing I'm going to do today. What did we learn? We're still suffering from strange connection issues. Yeah, if I do have connection issues again today, I apologize in advance. I'm not sure what's causing my dropouts, and it might be my network connection. However, I've resetted my router in advance of this stream, so I hope that helps. I've also done a speed test, and it's all okay. More than enough bandwidth to run the stream. It might also be that my machine is simply a bit too weak to handle all the encoding. I'm not sure. My CPU load is at 74% at the moment, or around 80-ish. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I try my best to keep stream quality up. Making code clean seems to take 80% of my time after spending 20% on the actual business logic. I might exaggerating things with clean code and stuff. However, maybe it's just that I'm not, I don't have enough routine in Rails coding that this comes naturally. So that's one of the reasons why I've decided to stream 3 times a week now, on Tuesdays, on Fridays, and on Saturdays, each time starting at 4 p.m. Irish time. Maybe that'll mitigate some of the time I'm losing trying to write things properly instead of just quick and dirty. Next step, make API token change. That's what I'm going to do today. Continue with user-centric milestone. There are a lot of issues in our issue queue under this milestone, and we'll get them tackled, but not today. I don't think that I'm going to do a serious item from my issue queue today. Depends on how things work. Another thing I'd like to do, and that's independent of yesterday's session, is that I'd like to update my website to reflect that I've changed my stream schedule. So that's one of the goals for today. Update website with regard to stream schedule. Let's make this a to-do item. Then display API token, and then refactor code around website user role. Okie dokie. Nice and relaxed. Good, so let's hide this. We've resolved this yesterday, so I guess I should simply go ahead and merge this merge request. On the other hand, it's not necessary. I might leave it for peer review on Monday. Yeah, so we leave it at display API token, but first I'd like to update my stream schedule, and actually I'm using a Twitch extension on my channel page that reflects my schedule. So I think I'll take it off my website completely. Speaking of website, I've also changed the website I'm using for this stream. So far I've been using fullstacksensei.com. However, I don't get much use out of this website other than it's another place that screams at me for updates. So I've decided to integrate it into my personal website and blog on gvis.dev, and that's why this URL is in the status line down here. I'll slowly switch everything over from fullstacksensei.com to gvis.dev. So let's close this window. I'll have to pull my repository to my new development machine. So yep, it's not yet on there. Let me see. Here we are. Now that I've cloned it, I can use VS Code again. Window. And I'll use the remote SSH extension. It's an awesome piece of kit that allows me to have the comfort of my desktop with the power of a Linux machine that has 6 cores and lots of stuff built into it. I can also reset screen size here. Open folder, projects, website. Okay. Here we go. And here's the live stream page. Stream schedule over on Twitch. Oops. Simultaneously, so make sure to follow my channel. Oops. I guess that's it already. Okay, this should do it. I've pushed my changes, and Netlify should update the website within the next few minutes. Okay, that was quick. Now I'm going back to my dashboard project. I'm still in the 526 branch, so let's go into my Tmux project here and change branches. This has been pushed and merge requested. And now I'm going to do the API change. So what issue number do we have? Issue 361. I was just surprised how low this number is, because here I've been working on 526, and now I see we've imported this over from GitHub in 2016. So this has been a request for quite some time. Oh dear. 361. Just do a git smart pull just to be sure. No updates. Okay. New branch 361 API token view. And we don't have much to do other than look at the model to find out what the API token attribute is named. It's called authentication token. And then we'll go into the view. We could do some test-driven development here. I'm not sure if we have... Yeah, we do have a few views tests here. I think I'd like to do another view test here. It's lightweight, it doesn't have the weight we need, the overhead we need for a full integration test. But it also makes sure that we don't lose the field in a regression. So I'm going to create a new folder for users. And I'll go ahead and copy just this things, and then I'll create a new file called show.html.erb_spec. Paste in what I already have, I think. I haven't done a view test in quite a while. So what we do is we render the view and then expect a data selector. And for this we have this method here that should be extracted to a helper, I think. Don't we have any views helpers or something like that already? Because I don't want to copy and paste that all the time. Let's see, spec helper. Here we pull in different things like controller helpers or device helper. And we have the controller helpers here that we also pull in for views. Not sure if that's a good idea. But it might be, so I'll simply pull this method into the controller helpers for the time being. Let me see. Just a short version of expect rendered to have selector. Why extract that in the first place? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So user show displays the authentication token. User build stubbed user assign user render expect rendered to have selector. I guess we're going to have a selector user ID authentication token. Let's see how the views looks like. So we have a user DOM ID. Oh crap. This feature has already been implemented. What? If feature API access. Maybe we've built a guard clause in here that actually doesn't allow people who have API access to see this. Or people are simply not aware that it's already there. Well, that's a surprise. Okay. It's always good to see work has already been done. Maybe I'll simply add the test then. But I'd really like to check why, or what the reason might be that people don't see this. Let's find out what the API access feature flag looks like. It's explicitly in here. For the group EAP Early Access Program, we enable the API access feature and define group. EAP is defined as user EAP enabled, which in turn delegates to the company. And okay, so people should actually see their API tokens. Let's take a look at how it looks in practice. So I'm on port 32772. Let's log in as a customer. And I go into my user account and I actually can see here's an API token, and whenever I hover over there I see the API token as well. Huh. Alright then. Maybe that's a bit too clever here. The hover. That's certainly not obvious that you need to hover to see the API token. And I think it's okay to display it right away. I've seen other places that display it too. Or I'll add a text. That disappears whenever we hover over here. That might be even better. Okay. Fine. So where did I close this view again? Where's my view? That's the model. I'm closing tabs too quickly. Or VS Code does. So we have our user with a number, and then there is an ID API token already that triggers the hiding behavior. So we can simply look for an ID API token. Let's go ahead and run this test. ID is not available. It's correct. It should be user ID. Undefined local variable or method text. That's correct. I was a bit quick to remove that stuff. I expect data selector. ID, name, text. So how does it even work? I'm expecting website ID. Cluster and a specific text. And it should have the API token. Okay, okay, that's how it's going to work. This needs to be user authentication token. User authentication token, and it's getting a bit unreadable here. So I guess I'll indent it this way. And I don't think we need this comma, do we? Nope, we don't. And it works, displays the authentication token. Good. Now let's, oops, what does Google Cop? Okay, we're missing the comma, okay. Fine, fine, fine. I'll add it. Good, so I'd like to change the CSS a bit. And the view as well, so so now we have two elements here. Which we then can make visible or invisible at will. I'm missing a quote. Better. Let's make this an ID as well. And now I'm going into our CSS. Asset style sheets. There has to be some API stuff already. just wonder where. It's in... Oh, it's in the view itself. Didn't see that. The view does have a bit of special CSS up here. API token code display none as API token hover code display block, and I guess we need the same stuff. API token API. Well, we can simply use API token placeholder. Display block and API token placeholder hover display none. Okay, but the placeholder doesn't disappear. I see. We need to use the TD API token placeholder. TD hover application placeholder. And I'm not very good in this front-end styling stuff, so if I'm doing something stupid, simply let me know. But that's, I think, how it should work. Nope. Now the first thing works and the second one doesn't. Okay, why doesn't it? Well, we could simply use authentication token. And we could even remove the code. That's how it's supposed to work. I am not too bad at this stuff. Interesting. Now, I'd like to make it italic, which is, help me, font. Font style, okay. As I said, I'm really bad at this stuff. Cool. I like it. Now we'll have to change the test because I've changed the IDs. I guess we don't need the API token ID at all. And then we should call this API authentication token placeholder. Does it still work? It does. So it's authentication token, not API token. Let's run the test again. Fine. I guess that's it. Let's run a full test before I go and push and do a merge request. Nice. So let's wait for CI to finish this and I'll merge this right away. This caching issue with our CI system could be another thing that I look into today. I find it really tedious that GitLab CI downloads and installs all these gems every time. There must be a better way. Something like installing it into a vendor directory and then storing it, caching it. let's spend the time researching it, especially that. GitLab, Ruby, cache, GitLab CI. Cache dependencies, cache gems. Cache, key, CI project name, paths, vendor, Ruby, and then we need to bundle install. Ooh, yeah, that's nice too. Path vendor. Cool. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We're already almost done. Yeah, when we're hopping executor machines, this cache will obviously not be as effective. But still. And I could use our own GitLab executor. We have our own GitLab runner. That would pretty much then make sure we can use the cache. Job succeeded. So we'll go ahead and merge this. Nice. Okay, that means I can go ahead and our updated master branch. And I think I'm going to roll this out into production right away, so no, GitLab CI.yaml. Oh, we somehow missed installing a cache here. I just realized here we actually have a bundle install path cache without setting it up as such. Okay, that makes it even easier. So all we have to do is set up a cache. That uses /cache/Ruby. Or /cache in general. That's closed. Let's take a look at our CI pipelines. There's probably one running for my merge, one for my production deployment, and here's the one running for caching. Created repository. Yeah, we'll have to wait until this job is finished. It then should, well, the best indication that it's working is for the next run to use the cache, I guess. But still, it should display some kind of message at the end that it's saving all the changes to the cache. There's lots of branches that should have been deleted for ages, I guess. That's another cleanup I'll have to do. Yeah, there are things that I remember doing that should have been deleted. Alright. But that's too boring to do it on stream. What I'd like to do now is to do a bit of a refactoring, and I'll do it in the existing branch. I think I'll just add it to my merge request in the add owners branch. What I'd like to do is take a look at my website model. Now this is a hosting user dashboard. So obviously website is an important model here. And I got the creeping suspicion that website is becoming a God object. Meaning that it starts to accumulate all kinds of things. And after introducing the website user role recently, I'm wondering if assign user, assign owner should really be done in here, because all that website is doing here is creating another website user role. So instead of calling assign user on a website, shouldn't this be a class method on website user role, where I pass in a website, a user, and an access level, and then it goes ahead and creates it? Or we could even use create in the first place. Well, yeah, it's nice to have these. No, it doesn't make sense. We'd be recreating the new method, or the create method actually, where we pass in a website, a user, and an access level, which are the attributes of this model. Okay, so should assigning a user to a website happen within the website, or should it be something that's more geared towards website user role? What I should do is pull this up here so we can see that assign owner and assign collaborator are only specializations of assign user. Yeah, if all we're doing is using website user roles, I think we shouldn't have this in website. That's something as I understand the single responsibility principle, should not happen in website, creating website access permissions for a certain user. The website user role model would be much more suited to do this. Let's try and make this change. So where do we even use assign user? Okay, we only use it in here and in the controller actually. And all this does in the website user roles controller, if I'm not mistaken, all this does is assign a user to the website so we would simply replace this with website user role create website user website user access level and that should still work. Okay, then I'm going to run a integration test. Website user spec. Yep, still works. Which means that assign user doesn't get called from the outside anymore. Do we even call assign owner or assign collaborator? We do in a spec and in a cluster. Well, assign owner, where I simply pass in a user. I think that's convenient. However, if assign owner is convenient, isn't assign user as well? I'm struggling here with making a decision. Let's quickly check that our caching configuration has some kind of effect. It says /cache no matching files. Uploading cache. So is cache actually empty? And if yes, why? We do say bundle install --path /cache. We'll see if this works or not. Let's take another look how else this can be set up. I'm not a fan of using /cache. Most of the examples I find are using the vendor directory. If using a cache key, that does make sense. Caching Ruby dependencies. Ruby key path vendor Ruby. And then we, yeah. All right, so let's use their example here. What do I do with this? Let me look up. Single responsibility principle Rails model. As viewer QP said yesterday, SRP and Rails models is a bit of a contradiction, because Rails models already do lots of stuff like validation, database access, yeah, and so on. So, not sure if I'm challenging myself too much here. This is fairly confusing though. Each module or class has responsibility for a single part of functionality of the software. Can be tough to extend. should only be one reason for a post or a comment to change. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. So if we're making changes to a website user role, website shouldn't have to change. Now it's getting interesting here. So author, get all the posts of an author, and the proposed way is to have a posts. Well, you actually do already have a posts method if the association is set up correctly. Now I don't want the entire post. Simple, slightly better option here is to add a body summary column to the posts table. Use a callback to add a... Yeah, that's... I don't like this approach. like things that change for the same reason, separate those things that change for different reasons. Interesting. Website user roles is a method because website is associated with website user role. So it seems legit to have website use its own method to add records to this collection. On the other hand, we're using internal knowledge on website user roles. Here, for example, the access level stuff. You'll always have to call website user role access levels with a certain level. I'll have to do a bit more thinking about this, I think. So here in this change, I guess I'll drop this change. And wait until I've made my mind up. Getting back to the GitLab CI cache stuff, let's make this a bit cleaner and more according to documentation. So we'll use paths vendor/Ruby. And then we'll use bundle install in parallel, that's a nice thing. And with the vendor path. That's the only instance of bundle we use. That's good. Only a single instance of this. Okay, let me see how this changes things. How are you folks doing out there? Let me know. Pop into chat, say hi. It's completely dark outside now. It's almost dinner time. Let's try another stab at this single responsibility issue. Ruby, or even Rails Association, SRP. Well, one way to think about this would be, if I have an association, I automatically get a method that returns the collection of an associated model. So we already have, in this case, a website user roles method inside of website. If that's the case, and we can use a method inside website to get a collection of associated records. In other words, we already have a method that reads associated stuff from the database. It seems legitimate to have also methods that add records to these collections, to these associated models. From that point of view, having not only the website user roles method that is auto-generated, but also an assign owner, which is only where did the assign user go? Oh, we are in master. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's go back to my other branch here. So maybe I only got confused by my naming, because website user roles is auto-generated. Maybe I should just have this named add website user role or create website user role. Assign user is a bit more abstract than that, but having a get website user roles method is obviously okay. So why not having an add website user role method as well? Okay, now I feel a lot better with these methods. And then assign owner and owners are just specializations of what we already have. What's interesting is, yeah, we do have a users method that's, I think, just a renamed, yeah, has many users through Oh, okay, that's the through association. We actually get real users, yeah, okay. Right, where are we? Here we are. So owners is just a scope on users. Well, okay. I think that's something that's worth writing down. What did we learn? Naming is important for guiding understanding. In today's session, I was unsure if having the add owners or having the methods, oops, having the methods for managing website user role in website is legitimate or not. I came to the conclusion that if the auto-generated website user roles method is legit, so is a method that's basically a synonym of create website user role. Okay, we've managed this, we've managed this. And we don't have to refactor code around website user role at all. Fine. Okay, time to look at our cache behavior. So, scroll to bottom. No, scroll. Okay, fine. I'll scroll myself. Oof. What's going on here? Unsupported Ruby version 2.1 found in target Ruby version parameter. In vendor Ruby 240 gems stripe. What? Strange. So let's go back to master. We do have a vendor directory here locally, but I'm pretty sure the vendor directory is in git ignore. No, it's not. Well, it pretty much should. Huh. Huh, it's been there for quite a while. Do we even have files in there? Just the .keep. Okay, so that's not it. But it did install. Oh, Robocop tried to lint the vendor directory. That's not what it's supposed to do. Okay, we don't need to have we don't add it to git ignore, but we have to add it to robocop.yaml. I'm not going to check the style off. Of gems that I've downloaded. How about other? I guess when, well, not sure about this one, but what else do we have? Lint, coffee lint. Okay. Let's see how this one works. That's nice. Let's see what this looks like if we are using multiple cores. It doesn't look much different, but it might just be that we are actually running on a single core container here. At the moment we are running on shared runners from GitLab, so switching to our own GitLab runner might actually be a good idea. Because we'll definitely get more cores there. However, it's also a cloud instance, I think, with only 2 virtual CPUs, so no, not much of an improvement, but having this run only, or having this run less, would already be an improvement. So let's focus on the caching aspect of things for the time being. I wish this scroll button would work. Scroll to top. Scroll to bottom. Will it stay at the bottom though? No, it won't. Can I still scroll? Top, bottom. Okay, Rubocop does ignore our vendor directory now. Brakeman apparently did so as well. And Railspec practice, best practices did as well, I guess. So now we're down to RSpec. Yes, we are running on in vendor Ruby now. Okay. Creating cache. Vendor Ruby found 18,000 matching files. That's actually a good thing that this gets cached. Created cache, job succeeded. Good. Okay. Looking forward to the next CI run. That's something else I can write down. Set up caching of Ruby gems on GitLab CI. That's done as well. Gem cache contains over 18k files. Well worth caching. Good stuff. Well, yeah, obviously this will only really be effective if our CI jobs run on the same GitLab runner, which isn't guaranteed, but it'll be an improvement, and switching to our own GitLab runner would pretty much make sure that the caching is effective. So if I see CI spreading over too many machines and the cache being ineffective by that, I'd probably switch to our own runner that we already have in place. Maybe switching to our own GitLab runner will be necessary for the cache to be effective. Though. Alrighty, I think I'm satisfied for today. We only did a few lightweight things, but nice improvements nonetheless. A nice diverse set of things as well. I guess this is a good point to wrap things up. Folks, is there anything else you'd like to talk about? If you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to know or to share, now's the time to do so. It's been awfully quiet through this session. looks like you're as relaxed as I am. So yeah, I'll be wrapping up things. As always, if you don't follow this channel yet, please do so. It'll make me very happy. And to get my stream announcements, please also follow my Twitch account. It's down there at GWiz. And yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday at 4 PM Irish and UK time, as usual. And until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Take care.